Yo, yo. What? Why is my camera not working? Alright, I'm restarting stream real quick. Be every 2 seconds. Alright, cam's working. There we go. Don't know what happened. Let me, I mean, YouTube's live streaming, like tech and experience is just so much better. All Twitch has over YouTube is just like the website and like kind of chat and the community around Twitch. But I just like restarted my stream real quick and YouTube just kind of kept it as the same stream because they probably realized that I just did it real quick. Pro. All right. Today's going to be an earning analysis and chill kind of day. Super tired for some reason, but we're here nonetheless. And we'll start with probably the biggest, I think, from yesterday. Which is Google Alphabet abc.xyz. We got Microsoft, Meta, DoorDash. Tomorrow's actually a really big day. Carvana. I'm curious to see Carvana. Robinhood. I didn't realize GoDaddy's public. Anyways. Yeah. Yeah. Don't know why. Alright. Let's take a look. Now I did read an article about Google earnings, and it fits so well into what we covered yesterday on the stream about Google essentially undermining Microsoft's cloud business because their cloud business did great. Oh, and they have their 10Q now. All right, let's just look at the earnings, and then we'll look at the 10Q, which gives us some more insight. Dang. 11%, 15%, 88 bill. 88 bill. Net income 26 bill, like that's pretty good. Traffic acquisition costs, interesting. I don't know what that means, really. Maybe like how much it costs to get to traffic. Google Cloud. Oh, bro, look at that growth. Yeah, it's crazy. Other bets. I wonder what that is. Google Cloud, Google Services. YouTube ads. Just eked out. I mean, yeah, if we compare, like, these are very comparable in terms of size, YouTube ads versus Google Cloud in terms of revenue. And Google Cloud grew way faster. Actually bigger than their advertising, which is crazy. Just Google advertising, though. Dang, they have 81,000 employees. That's crazy. That's so many people. It went down a bit. You know, had all these layoffs, yet still had great profits, I guess. Begs the question as to why. Let's look at the... Yeah, these long-term debts, quite a bit. This was actually pretty boring. Proceeding. Make a lot on interest. Save a lot of cash on the bank. All right, let's look at their 10Q, because this is where they legally have to disclose things. Yeah, their market risk. This is probably what we want to look at. This is the interesting stuff. Or just risk factors. Yeah, their number one risk factor. We are and may continue to be subject to claims, lawsuits, regulatory and government inquiries and investigations, enforcement actions, consent orders, and other forms of regulatory scrutiny and legal liability. All right, we can see that good. And legal liability, including competition matters that could harm our business reputation. You're subject to claims, lawsuits, regulatory. Yeah, I mean, DOJ various states and other plaintiffs have filed and may continue to file several antitrust lawsuits about various aspects of our business. Yeah. For example, the DOJ and a number of state attorneys filed a lawsuit alleging that Google violated antitrust laws relating to search advertising in August 2024. U.S. District Court for District of Columbia ruled that Google violated such antitrust rules. Wow, they already ruled, holding a separate proceeding to determine remedies, which could include alterations to our products, services, and our business models and operations, including structural remedies and our distribution arrangements, among other changes. Essentially, they're gonna maybe break Google up, I think. Like separate like their advertising business or YouTube from the others. While we plan to appeal, there can be no assurance that our appeal will succeed or that we'll be able to change or decrease the severity. Yeah, interesting. California, in December 2022, the California jury delivered a verdict in, yes, Epic Games versus Google, finding that Google violated antitrust laws related to Google Play's business. The presiding judge issued remedy decisions on October 7th. Oh, I didn't see this. That ordered a variety of alterations to our business model and operations and contractual agreements for Android and Google Play. We're appealing and have filed a motion to pause the implementation. Other regulatories around the world, including, yeah, it's like EU. We are subject to a variety of claims, including product warranty, product liability, and consumer protection claims related to their product defects, among other litigation. What is this? Involving health and safety, hazardous material usage, and environmental effects, AI training, development, commercialization. Wait, I don't get this. They're just saying that like this could happen, I guess. I know that that's kind of what this section is, but like this is very weak for Google. Like it's obvious that like this is like your risk, but usually people like the companies are actually like pretty good at listing because I think they legally have to. Let's go back. Chief Executive Officer, Chief Financial Officer, that was a September 3rd, 2024. Disclosure controls and procedures are designed at a reasonable assurance level. I think that's just like typical. Like you have to let people know if you change it. Dang, they had 50 billion in contractual obligations. Wonder if that's people paying Google. Purchase orders for certain technical infrastructure as well as non-cancelable portions of or the minimum cancellation fee. European Commission fines. Bro, they've been fined so much. 2 billion, 4 billion, 1.5 billion, 4 billion, 4.1. That's this though. Oh, this is 5.1. Rejected our appeal of the 2017 decision. Dude, it's crazy that it took 7 years for the appeal. That's crazy. You made cash payment of 3 billion for the fine. Oh. The EU General Court overturned the 2019 decision and annulled the 1.5 billion. The EC has until 2024 to appeal. Interesting. They reduced the fine from 4.3 to 4.1. It's nothing. That's a big one. 4 billion. You have short-term debt financing program up to 10 billion. Holy shit, bro. This is Google's like AI spending, like building data centers essentially, like 21.2 billion and 38.8 billion on capital expenditures respectively. We expect to increase relative to 2023 our investment in our technical infrastructure, including servers, network equipment, and data centers to support the growth of our business and our long-term initiatives, in particular in support of AI products and services, depreciation of our property. Yeah, but this is the AI spend. Like they're I mean, all big tech companies are ramping up like capital expenditures to build data centers and buy NVIDIA cards essentially. But Google does actually make their own like quote AI chip, the Tensor chip. So I wonder if I think they're kind of like trying to move that towards more AI, which it was actually that it was originally made for like AI stuff on the phone. Google Cloud operating income increased 1.7 billion and 3.2 billion from the 3 and 9 months ended September 2023. Dang. Wow. Oh, 9 months. I see. They have a big R&D spend, 12 billion just for the quarter. Oh, here, this is interesting. Paid clicks change. So 4% increase. Cost per click, it was an 8% increase. But they had 14% less impressions. Changes in advertiser spending, ongoing product policies changes. I wonder if they mention political spending. Election, no. Long-term trends and their financial effect on our business, discussing trends in our business and look that up. Fluctuation of revenue have been and may continue to be affected by a combination of factors, change in foreign currency exchange rates, general economic conditions, various external dynamics, including geopolitical events, regulations, and other measures. They don't really mention like the election. Because Google's definitely benefiting from the ads. I guess they don't necessarily have to close that maybe. All right, Google's was less exciting than I thought. Go to the end, see if like investor questions, see if they like asked anything cool or interesting. Oh. Thank you. Reminder to ask a question. You need to press. Okay, is this the last? Yeah. Okay. Let's see if they mention. Here we go. Oh, this is a question though. Nothing interesting. I'm surprised. Okay, let me just skim through these questions real quick. See if there's anything interesting. Of course, last year you sort of showcased different types of new Gen AI enabled search products to reimagine the search experience. Can you help us hone in on one or two of these products that you're most excited about? That you think over the next 2 or 3 years you can really lead more durable multi-year search growth once they scale? How quickly they come out? What sort of are the key constraints that you see really reimagining search and scaling it out across 2 or 3 billion people? $20 billion queries a month. It's a lot. It's like such a non-answer. Like, well, we've rolled out AI overviews to over 1 billion years. There's a lot more innovation there we are actively working on. It's like, what? You asked us specifically what? So I expect search to continue to evolve significantly in 2025. It's like, expand to what? We're in the early days of what's powerful new technology. Underpin it. Bro, it's so crazy the non-answer, like the CEO speak. So we are at 1 billion people. I don't necessarily see a constraint there. Obviously things are latent, like latency, cost per query, etc. But you've seen us over the past 18 months make substantial progress. Continue rolling out more, and it'll keep evolving. I think, sir. Yeah, so like such a non-answer. And he didn't even answer the constraint one. Like, I want to hear the response to this guy. This guy's like, probably like, bro, waste of fucking time, bro. Like, JP Morgan, can you talk to us more about the infrastructure advantages and capital expenditure efficiencies you generated from Google's own TPUs? Yeah, these are the tensor processing units that I was kind of saying, their own like chip that they've been making. How does that influence your capital expenditure spending going forward relative to peers and other leading cloud service providers? We're well positioned because in our AI infrastructure, we have a comprehensive solution set. We have all the leading AI accelerators, GPUs, TPUs, as well as CPUs, and we're investing in all of them. Wonderful partnership with NVIDIA for the GB200s, which I think are the Grace Blackwell. Or no, not Grace Blackwell. NVIDIA's latest something. Oh yeah, it is Grace. So it's interesting that NVIDIA though like doesn't really sell like individual GPUs. It's like you have to buy like the entire fucking rack. NVIDIA GB2000 NVL72 is an exascale computer in a single rack. 36 GB200s interconnected by the largest NVIDIA NVLink domain offered. NVLink, yeah, 130 terabytes per second of low latency GPU communication for AI high performance computing workloads. We're excited for the GB200s. We'll be one of the first to provide it at scale. On the TPU front, I think we have, not only are we in the 6th generation, but I just spend some time with the teams on the roadmap ahead. Couldn't be more excited with the forward-looking roadmap of all of us. Excited with it. Best-in-class efficiency, not just for internal Google, but what we can provide through the cloud, and that's reflection of the growth we saw in our AI infrastructure and Gen AI services on top of it. That was like a non-answer too. I mean, we just talk about the advantages of it. I guess that's fair. And I feel like it's always like it's always the like you know, like this, like the CFO or like the actual people who like understand, like are kind of more down in the dirt than like the CEO, like always step in to like be like, let's provide a little more detail here. Like you're that was such a non-answer, is so broad that like there's nothing that you could even strain out of it. Yeah, they invested $13 billion in capital expenditure across the country, and as you think about it, it really divided 2 categories: our technical infrastructure, and a majority of that's $13 billion, and then the other one goes into areas such as facilities. Yeah, they don't even know the details exactly. Within our technical infrastructure, we have investments in servers, which include both TPUs and GPUs. In second categories are data centers and networking equipment. This quarter, approximately 60% of that investment in technical infrastructure went towards servers and about 40% towards data center and networking equipment. Interesting. And as you think about, he really likes that, the next quarter and going into the next year, as I mentioned in my prepared remarks, we will be investing in Q4 at approximately the same level of what we've invested in Q3, approximately 13 billion. Dang. We do see an increase coming in 2025, and we'll provide more color on that in Q4 call. Likely not the same percent step up that we saw between 2023 and 24, but an additional increase. Interesting. Compared to other models, I think probably that gives a good sense of the efficiencies we can generate from architecture. Interesting. The models for search, while they keep going up in capability, we have been able to really optimize them for underlying architecture. And that's where we're seeing a lot of efficiencies. Interesting. Goldman Sachs. Got to do a little schmoozing, you know, to the congratulating the new CEO or CFO. Oh yes, Waymo. Yes, they didn't even. That's so interesting. Yeah. What are the key learnings as Waymo rolled out onto additional cities? Waymo's this Google self-driver or driverless car, Tesla robotaxi competitor. In terms of consumer adoption of the product and how you think about go-to-market strategies for Waymo. In terms of looking at YouTube trends by long form versus short form video or shorts, how are you seeing consumption versus monetization trends continue to evolve for YouTube as broken down maybe in that means? This is like, it's like so crazy because Google has so many products that are like very trendy. Like the short form content on YouTube, you know, is like compete with TikTok. Now they're trying to compete with AI. They have to compete with the cloud with like, you know, Amazon and Microsoft. They're competing with, you know, Uber, Tesla with Waymo. Like, you know, they're in so many different like desperate markets at this point. Like it's kind of crazy. And they unfortunately, you know, don't have to like share like individuals like earnings and things. And so, you know, everything just kind of gets lumped in and it's hard to see what actually like how they're actually managing these like, you know, smaller parts of the business, but are still very competitive with, you know, or are still like trying to compete with these other kind of like rising companies in like smaller sectors like the social media with short form content on YouTube and Waymo cyber taxis. On Waymo, obviously it's been an exciting year both in Phoenix market and San Francisco. We definitely scaled in particular and particularly scaled paid rides, and definitely surprised us on the positive in terms of how much consumers are loving the experience from a safety standpoint. privacy standpoint, yeah, I think the like really I like Waymo because I don't have to talk to a fucking Uber driver. Like I got an Uber the other day and he's playing the Holy Bible. I was like, all right, dude, like like the last thing I want to listen to in the fucking Uber, dude. Like, come on. And and then like Vicky like swore, and then he like put in his like AirPods. I was like, okay, like sorry. I think all of this has been on the positive side, and obviously the product will continue to improve. So far, we have mainly focused on each city as we grow, and the pace at which we can now do an additional city gets easier, so we're definitely accelerating that way. That's why you see us to move into LA. This is going to be the true test of Waymo. Fucking LA, like... yeah. Like programming in like those fucking crazy ass like left turn from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. You know, like no turn from, you know, this time. Although Phoenix has some crazy shit like that too. They have like lanes that are like, imagine like the suicide lane in the middle. It's an actual suicide lane, and it's one way. It's one direction during rush hour, like one way, and then the lane swaps, and it actually works for the other direction in the opposite in different times. Phoenix lane change. Like this shit is crazy. Or if I could find the sign. Phoenix. Oh. I'm not gonna be able to find it. Anyways, big side tangent. We're also striking partnerships in newer and unique ways, hence the Uber partnership and expansion to Austin and Atlanta. And we have more options where we are looking at the driven by Waymo model with other network partners, fleet managers, etc. Still being safety focused and looking to scale and testing out a variety of models. See, like Waymo seems like, I mean, like this is Google we're talking about. They, you know, the Google graveyard is real. And they've canceled products that have otherwise seemed to be successful. They killed the Chromecast. I guess like Android TV took that over. But like Google Podcasts, like this just seems like an easy thing just to keep going to compete with Apple. Google Domains. I used Google Domains for a long time before swapping off. Again, like, I don't know. It's a good service. I feel like that fits in with Google's cloud offerings. That's like, you know, I'm sure they were profiting on it. I mean, it's like, look at all this. Google Stadia. I mean, this is probably one of the biggest ones that they've sunk money into. And I would almost put in Google Stadia into something like Waymo, where it's like a completely new like market that they're trying to get into, gaming, especially cloud gaming. And like Waymo's completely new. It seems successful, but like I still wouldn't be fucking surprised if Google like in, you know, the next years just like nixes it because it's not making enough money. And I think that's the big problem is like when you have something like Google search or Google or YouTube or just advertising or Google Cloud, you know, like those bring in billions. And so when like you have this little tiny, you know, like you know, these little like projects that just bring in like measly millions, even, you know, like low hundreds of millions, it's nothing, and it's not even worth Google's time to continue to push, which is insane to think about. When in reality, I'm sure if they actually wanted to, they could, you know, put money into it, scale it up, run advertising, actually make a good product. and they would actually be able to scale it to, you know, a substantial like business, but they just don't care to like wait it out or put in the time. Yeah, this is crazy. What is Google Jamboards? Sentenced to death. Like how they put the guillotine like it hasn't died yet, but it's been sentenced. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, YouTube Shorts. Consumption versus monetization. Maybe we start with watch time. It continues to grow. Actually, across YouTube, with particular strength in shorts and in the living room. This is interesting. And I've been watching. YouTube is definitely my number one like streaming like content. Like out of like all the streaming services, I use YouTube the most. And I've been turning to it for like things like TV shows. Cause like I've been watching Survivor Man. And Les Stroud is a homie, and he uploads he literally like the entire like all of Survivor Man just on YouTube. So it's like, bro, why? Like, and you know, YouTube has a great streaming like their video player is by far the best out of everyone. It's like, I don't know, I just rather watch it on YouTube because it's just a lot like smoother experience and it integrates with everything else. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like we've been watching from the 80s. Holy shit. Yeah, but I mean, like, it's cool. Like, I like how he does that, and he kind of like runs his own programming on YouTube. Like, that's cool. And I wish like other creators who kind of were more in the traditional space do that. How It's Made is actually good. Another one. Like How It's Made has like full episodes on YouTube. It's really cool. Like I like things like that. So I guess like if YouTube leans into things like that, like I don't know, that seems to be a cool like thing to have on the platform. Granted, I'm sure it's like more complicated. I know like Les Stroud like owns like his like broadcasting rights and like does his own production and stuff, obviously. So I mean that's makes sense, but yeah. Anyways, I think it's cool. Like I guess like the How It's Made example, it's like, you know, the whoever owns the, you know, the Science Channel, Discovery, I don't know, whoever, like they upload it themselves. Like they could do that. Nothing's stopping other companies from doing things like that. And like if I don't know, if YouTube, like that could be an attractive proposition. Like maybe we'll give you some better like ad rev or something. Okay. Just to give you a number, over 70 billion YouTube shorts are watched every day. It's crazy. On the monetization side, monetization rates of shorts relative to in-stream viewing is continuing to show a healthy rate of growth. Monetization of shorts relative to in-stream viewing. I don't know what that, like, relative to in-stream viewing? Huh. The gap continues to narrow, particularly in the US. We also see it in other more highly monetized markets. And we continue to work very closely with our advertisers, committed to providing them with very effective ways to reach the growing audience here. Talked about advertisers now being able to book first positions on shorts blocks. That's exciting. Shorts are also integrated into video reach campaigns, YouTube Select. Precise targeting, interesting. I don't know what most of this means, but okay, Barclays. 2, if that's okay. Given the high stakes around native AI product usage, are there any milestones you can share around where Gemini usage is compared to the 250 million weekly active users that ChatGPT is seeing right now? This guy's trying to squeeze out like actual numbers, like, you know, and he's like throwing like ChatGPT out there as in like, hey, like, you know, they got this, like, what do you got? Like Google versus DOJ search trial. But it looks like the way that the Google versus DOJ search trial is going, there's a decent likelihood that the Apple ISA contract and some of the Android pre-install contracts are going to be voided out at some point in the future. Oh, that's juicy. That's interesting. I wonder what this Apple ISA, I wonder what that means. Apple ISA contract. Information service agreement. That must be like them sharing because of the information service agreement with Google that makes the latter search engine. Oh, the default of Apple products. Yeah, okay. And that came under scrutiny. Yeah, because I mean, Google's paying like Apple billions to be the exclusive search provider or the like the default. So I guess the question is, what plans do we have in place to recapture some of the usage that might be going away in those search access points? How can we gain shares on iOS queries if the Safari toolbar access point were to change? And I think though Apple's trying to get on that juicy search ad revenue too. And I think they're hoping Apple AI, I'm sure, would take over something like that. I don't know if Apple would legit like just make a search engine though to compete. I feel like they would have done that by now. Obviously, we're serving Gemini across. I wonder if he's even going to touch on the. Oh no, he is. Okay. Gemini crossed a lot of touch points, including now it's over 1 billion people are using it in search accessing. We are getting it across our products. The Gemini app itself is very strong momentum growth. I didn't even know they had a separate app. Our API volume, I commented on Gemini's API having gone up 14 times in the past 6 months. Okay, but like that's like, I mean, I guarantee you the ChatGPT like API is you know rising at similar rates, if not more. We're seeing growth across the board. The Gemini integration of the Google Assistant is going super well on Android. The users' feedback's positive. I think you'll see us. We're investing in the next generation of models, and as part of that, we're investing in scaling up usage. Yeah, whatever. Not answer. On the legal trials, obviously, I don't want to. It's not appropriate for me to speculate, given it's in the middle of an ongoing litigation. But what I would say is, stepping back, we've always, and even as the court acknowledged, clearly we've reached a position of success. That's an interesting way to spin it, because we have deeply innovated and we're continuing to do so. People have chosen us because they view it as the best product, and be it consumers and partners, and we have a long track record of working hard to make sure our products are easily available. Vigorously defend these cases, and some of early proposals from DOJ, etc., have been far-reaching, and we plan to. I think they could have unintended consequences, particularly to the dynamic tech sector and the American leadership here. Yeah, in other words, if Trump gets elected, then we're fucking scot-free, bro. And so we plan to engage vigorously there. Bank of America. I want to ask a little more about AI overviews, maybe 2 parts. You mentioned you were seeing increasing queries or activity. Could you help us understand that for the 1 billion users who have had access to the product, what are you seeing there? And on the monetization side, is there a chance that AI overviews would help monetize some of the information queries that you weren't making much monetization from with old formats? Interesting. But amongst the users are already rolled out. He's like, Philip? He's like passing it off. He's like, I don't want to answer this. Oh, for the monetization side. Transition here is working well, including for ads. As you know, we recently launched ads with AI overviews on mobile in the US, and this really builds our previous rollout of ads. For AI overviews, we see monetization approximately the same rates. This is getting not as interesting. Moffat, we don't know who they are. Dude, I feel like they're like trying to like provoke them to like get them to share information. Sundar, there was this perception, and it may have been false. The Alphabet was not as innovative on AI as it should, and it clearly shows that was wrong. You're moving pretty quickly rolling out new products. Yeah, like baiting. Can you talk a bit about how you've changed your org structure? I know you've combined some assets, but talk us a bit about how you maybe rethought how you go to market with some of your innovative products and maybe what's changed as AI has picked up steam for you guys. Extraordinary opportunity, and I think the company's giving up moment. Much more virtuous cycle with a lot of velocity. Had 2 generation of Gemini models. So now all the 7 products would have 2 billion users each have done their first version. I wonder what a user is to Google. I feel like a user to Google is like not as like it's a bit more loosey goosey than like some other people define it as. I mean, I definitely believe that they have that, but like how much is it of like someone like me where like essentially the only Google product I use now is an active user different? Yeah, exactly. Like the only product I use now is YouTube. Like am I counted in this 2 billion users? Like even though I tried Google Gemini one time and that's literally the only time I've used it. Like am I counted in that? I know from previous experience, like my previous jobs, each company's defined what an active user is differently. So like it's like I wonder what they define, and I'm sure that they've shared this somewhere because like they could just be making these numbers up. But yeah, I'm just curious. Like 2 billion, just that seems like a lot. And I know Google has like far reach, but like yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious what that means. Think of Google as a neural network. We are formatting new synapses, which work much better to adapt to this moment. Yeah, whatever. Margins for cloud really starting to ramp up nicely. There are comps in the industries with still materially higher operating margins. I imagine that's a matter of scale and trying to catch up from a 3rd place position. But how do you think about the margin trends that you're seeing, and what are your levels of confidence in those margins? 32% operating margins last quarter, and you come in looking at this fresh. It's clear to you that there are a lot of newfound cost efficiencies. I know that's a boring question. Wells Fargo. Okay, he asked the election question, I think. Why does it make sense to have why does it make sense to have 2 completely different search experiences? Yeah, this is actually a legit question. Like, 1, an agent-like answer engine, and then 2, a links-based, more traditional search engine. Yeah, you could innovate on both and let the consumer decide. Maybe think of it as the ultimate A/B test. So I'd be curious to get your thoughts there. He's like giving them like he's like giving them business advice, you know, like. And then second, you could touch a little bit on consumer environment in 4th quarter. Perhaps nobody has a better view on the health of the consumer in multiple verticals. And Philip could give color on consumer vertical trends. People are using a lot of buzzwords like answer engines and all that stuff. I mean, Google started answering questions about 10 years ago in our search product with featured snippets. So ultimately, you are serving users. User experience is constantly evolving. Blah, blah, blah. 2 services for us to allow experiment more here. Huh. All right, last question. Highlighted pretty material increase number of companies that are starting to turn their ideas into products. Can you update us on seeing terms of sales cycles? The initial use case for PMax? What the fuck is PMax? I thought there was something with election. except for comms, but any other trends you could point out, be it around the election or fewer holidays. Here we go. Okay. Fair to say, in general, we saw broad strengths across all verticals, maybe specifically to election-related ad spend. We had a slight tailwind from election-related ad spend in the third quarter, which was a little more pronounced in YouTube ads. Interesting. That's interesting. All right. Shit, I keep forgetting to change the topic. I guess related. All right, that sums up Google. We'll move on here. This transcript was like, I thought it'd be more interesting just because I thought they would be more specific in answers, but they're so CEO speak. It was, yeah. All right, let's do Reddit next, and then we'll do EA, and then I might do Visa, Snapchat, AMD, but we'll see. Those I just don't think will be that interesting. Visa, maybe, because they have quite a few lawsuits. And I'm curious what they have to comment on that. All right. Reddit. Okay. Good. Okay. I love the Reddit's kind of like bubbly aesthetic is nice. Okay, so did Reddit make money? Were they profitable? Because I don't like, that's the key thing, because Reddit has, shit, I forgot to look at their stock prices. Let's look at Google stock price real quick just to see the reaction. Oh yeah, people are liking that. Look at Reddit stock price. I am a Reddit shareholder, disclosure. Oh my god, this is what I like to see, baby. Holy shit, bro. This is what profitability looks like, baby. Holy. Bro, I got in at IPO price $33. This is a triple. All right, let's see. They must be profitable, baby. What's up, Will? Gross margin was 91%, an improvement of like, I hate what they do is 280 basis points. That's like 28% or 2.8%. Ban third-party apps. Yeah. I hold for at least 1 year. I'm not paying those capital gains or losses. Inc. Yeah, so 60% year over year. Okay, so it had to have been political ad spend. That had to have been the reason. Bro, they spend zero fucking money either. Like $1 million, bro. We're just talking about Google's capital expenditures, like 13 billion for the quarter. Just like for comparison, so that's crazy. Daily active uniques averaged 97 million in the third quarter, an all-time high and an increase of 47% year over year. Dang, that's good. New levels of user traffic. Oops, let me zoom in. Exceeded 100 million on select days during the quarter. Weekly active is 364, 53% increase. So why did it increase so much? Like, these increases aren't like, you know, like, oh, like, you know, we just, you know, users just like our product. Like, nah, they made changes, or like they did something to like increase like this much. Like, there's no way. Yeah, 51% US. Our product strategies, machine learning investments are driving deeper engagement. That's how they made money. OpenAI Reddit partnership. They've been inking these AI partnerships. I guarantee you that's how they've been, you know, being able to bring in this, like, such an increase of revenue. Yeah, 68%. Like, that's insane. Okay. Strategies and machine learning investments are driving deeper engagement. Total conversation page views in Q3 were over 90 billion, up 40%. Machine translation, I don't know what that means. Drove 4 times increase in daily active uniques. Yeah, the ad revenue is, I mean, advertising is essentially only how Reddit makes money, like, realistically. So this is like, this is where we need to look to see if they actually had increases. Yeah, so 56% year over year. So what did they change? Like, why? Like, why all of a sudden? 33 million includes data licensing revenue, increased 540%. So this, okay. So this is like their licensing deals with like OpenAI, 547%. Average revenue per unique was up $3. Advertising revenue grew across the funnel, driven by performance revenue, mid and lower funnel, which grew higher double digits year over year. Scaled and diversified our ad business with over 80% year over year growth in our scaled channels, which includes mid-market and small market SMB customers. Okay. All right, let's read fucking, what's Steve's Reddit username? I can't remember. Steve Huffman. Excited to share that Q3 is a landmark quarter for Reddit. We average over 97 million daily active uniques, an increase of 47% over year. And for the first time, we exceeded 100 million in a few times this quarter, which has been a long-standing milestone for us. Our Q3 revenue grew 68% year over year, and I'm proud to announce that we achieved GAAP profitability. Let's go. But it's interesting that they specify GAAP because it's like it's like an accounting type, I guess. Reddit's influence continues to grow across the broader internet. In 2024, so far, quote, Reddit was the 6th most Googled word in the US, underscoring that when people are looking for answers, advice, or community, they turn to Reddit. We saw this play out in real time when the White House came to Reddit to share critical information during recent hurricanes, reaching people in the affected areas with timely updates. And I mean, I do this, like, if I'm even on, like, you know, Brave or whatever, it's like, if I want, like, human answers or at least, like, suggestions, like, yeah, I'll impose, like, Reddit on the end because I want to see Reddit threads. I mean, yeah, that's definitely the value of Reddit, is, like, real people answers. Granted, like, sometimes it's like you got to dig deep, but we remain focused on making Reddit the best place for the internet for conversations and community, which means, quite simply, we are continuously improving the user experience by making discovery easier, making the platform faster and smarter, enabling seamless contributions, and simplifying moderation. A few highlights from the quarter include our conversation page views exceeded 90 billion and grew 40% year over year in Q3 as users are getting into the conversation faster and more often. We refreshed the Ask Me Anything product, which led to a 5-fold increase in the number of AMAs created in the new format, and we launched better tools for posting that have both increased posts and reduced moderator removals, which makes better experience for everybody. And as for growing beyond the US, our efforts are proving successful. International daily active users grew 44%, leading 53% growth in our focus markets, most notably France, India, and the Philippines. That's so interesting. I would not expect those 3 countries to be like their leading like foreign growth markets, like France, India, and Philippines. Like France, sure, just large European. India, like maybe, but like I just don't associate like Reddit being big in like those countries. Interesting. This year, we started using AI to translate Reddit's corpus into other languages, making it more accessible for not. I like how it's like they had to say that they used AI to translate it. It's like buzzword. Making it more accessible for non-English speakers to enjoy in their native languages. After promising results with French in the first half of this year. Oh, the French, because they're talking about languages. Jesus. After promising results with French in the first half of this year, we expanded our coverage to include Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and German. Interesting. This quarter, machine translations drove 4 times more users than last quarter. And based on the success we've seen so far, we plan to expand machine translations to over 30 countries in 2025. Okay, so this is what machine translations mean, is like translating from English to something else, or translating the actual like into different languages. As Reddit becomes a truly global platform, you're focused on ensuring everyone, regardless of their language, can participate in and benefit from the communities on Reddit. Looking ahead, improving the search experience on Reddit is a key part of our strategy. We want to ensure that all users have the best experience possible. This includes users coming to Reddit from external search engines, and those searching directly on Reddit looking for recommendations on what to buy. I would never search directly on Reddit because Reddit search is still dog shit. Jay saying what to watch or what products or services are the best. We know many users are looking for more than just answers. They're looking for authentic, real-world insights and advice from communities on Reddit. We are focused on making the experience of navigating conversations and content on Reddit easier and more intuitive. As we look to 2025 and beyond, we seek opportunities to accelerate our roadmap, whether through our new product development, global expansion, or growing ad business, all while maintaining our commitment and scaling to profitability and ensuring that Reddit continues to be the go-to place for conversations and communities on the internet. All right. Interesting. They didn't really give us much insight as to like why. I mean, like maybe the translating things like did help, and I do believe that could, but like no way that's just like that is the only reason. Like 56%. Like I want to see like what they changed with advertising. Like did they give more options for companies to like target people like better, I guess? Like I don't know. Reddit in France. And I think, yeah, this is Reddit's strength, you know, is like being like having like specific communities around like something that like you may not find elsewhere, you know, like I think like a lot of the local subreddits, like, I mean, you know, Sacramento, like San Francisco, like Los Angeles, like those subreddits are pretty big and like a good like community around like different things. And like I read like, you know, our local Sacramento newsletter here from Cap Radio, or local NPR station, and they reference Reddit a lot, and like they find stories from the Sacramento Reddit because a lot of times that's the first place where things break, or people ask questions that, you know, don't really see the light of day on like other social media platforms because it's not like organized around like the that like city or town or whatever it may be. So I mean, like that's like a legitimate, like I think that's where Reddit like shines in strength. And then same with like video games and like movies and TV shows too. Like I think both of those are big, especially the show thing. I think that's an interesting like one that's like not like, you know, not like gaming, but like the Game of Thrones, you know, subreddits, and like the Marvel one, like those are pretty popular. And I feel like a good like, yeah, just a good example of like how Reddit kind of stands out from the other social media platforms. France has seen strong growth on both logged out, logged in. Yeah. Okay, here. Let's see. So this is... So they've actually been growing pretty steadily, actually. Like, they just must have hit a point where, like, it's just, you know, continuing to go up a lot. And, like, they could actually make money on the amount. That's interesting. You know, definitely jumped quite a bit here, but yeah. Huh. Half of the user growth in Q2 was driven by, here. Okay, so it was international traffic. We are seeing early momentum with our machine translation strategy across geographies. Interesting. International daily active uniques grew 44% year over year. France, UK, India, Italy, Philippines. Large language model driven traffic translations is showing early traction and breaking the language barrier. Bro, this makes no sense. Large language model driven machine translation. Like they're just trying to fucking say AI buzzwords in here so like people like pay attention or something. Large language model driven machine translation. Just say that you fucking translated it into a different language. Like, why do you have to translate and index search engines? We are seeing acceleration of top funnel traffic and growth in logged in users. No, I know, not even that. I mean, maybe that, but like I'm reading this as they just use some AI tool to translate English stuff into different languages. That's all this is, I swear. Yeah, they use they use the buzzwords. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean maybe even that, yeah. But they care a lot of like this is in I want Reddit didn't release their 10Q yet. But as a risk, you know, if Google changes their SEO, like their search engine optimization or like their like algorithm a bit and like ranks Reddit, like that, like they would see a significant drop in traffic. And so like this is like a blessing and a curse. It's definitely not like, it's definitely a risk that they have to like hold on to. Machine translation drove 4 times to like views. Interesting. Machine translated content is indexed and discoverable in search engines, driving incremental user traffic. Yeah, so this is like a search engine, and then it's like Reddit down here, or like what this turns into in the app. All right, here's ads. This is where they make their money. Yeah, 33 million. They really like this 540% number, even though 33 million is like peanuts. Total U.S. revenue grew 70% year over year, and national revenue grew 57%, the fastest growth rate in over 2 years. Primarily driven increased impression delivered from higher user growth. Okay, wait, let me read that. Advertising revenue growth year over year was primarily driven by increases in impressions delivered from higher user growth. So this seems like there's just more users, and so there's more impressions. More efficient ad load. So this is probably them actually delivering the ad more efficiently to someone. More efficient ad load. And expansion of conversation placement ads while pricing was consistent with the prior period. So they place ads like mid-thread. I don't use the new Reddit, and I honestly hardly even use Reddit in general now. And I can't even tell you, I don't even know if I've ever, like, no, I definitely seen Reddit ads, but like, not in recent years. I use old Reddit too. Advertising revenue growth was across the funnel. We launched our new Conversations API, integration partnerships, and CAPI adoption grew 2% over Q2. The Reddit ad and C ads? Oh, okay. I don't have any, like, I don't use it on my phone. Advertiser diversification. We experienced growth across objectives, channels, verticals, geographies. Objectives: performance revenue, middle and lower funnel, growth accelerated year over year. Channels: you hate their ads because they disguise them like a post. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like Google, like disguising an ad as a search engine. You know, it's like search result. How Perplexity is going to disguise an ad as like a, you know, recommended question at the bottom. Like, that's what, like, that's the like that works best for the company because it makes it doesn't make it look like an ad. but it sucks for the consumer because you can't tell what's an ad and what's not, besides, you know, probably some fucking tiny ass 2 letters AD in the corner or something. But yeah, kind of sucks. And continue momentum, scaled business, strong growth in industry verticals led by auto. Okay, this is interesting. Auto, consumer goods, financial services, and pharmaceuticals. Wow, that's interesting. I would have never expected strong growth in those categories on Reddit, I guess. Like maybe financial services, like, you know, because there's a lot of like, you know, Wall Street bet bros who use Reddit. Consumer goods, I guess, kind of makes sense because Reddit is like very like reaches like a, I guess, people who would spend money on that or are looking for recommendations on consumer goods. Pharmaceuticals is crazy. I don't even know what, like how that r/RX r/X. Okay, we continue to address the data licensing opportunities, are in contact with potential partners. We entered into a new partnership with Meltwater, a media and social intelligence company. Meltwater accesses Reddit's content through our data API, which allows their customers to uncover brand insights, monitor industry trends, and tap into discussions happening on the platform. That's interesting. Reddit has the best baby device. I mean, I don't even think that would be bad because it's just people. It's real people, you know? And like Reddit has a good community, like, you know, like it's actually like pretty reasonable, but that's funny. Yeah. r/baby advice. Yeah. It's just people, you know? That's funny. Do they have video ads? That's interesting. We're building the future of contextual and interest-based advertising. I got just backing up for a sec here too. Reddit should have some of the best advertising and conversion rates across any social media platform because of how specific you could get with like the subreddits that, you know, like exist on Reddit. Like they're so specific that like that should be perfect for an advertiser because it's like, you know, fucking, you know, Kool-Aid could advertise on r/Kool-Aid and like get, you know, great conversions, or I don't know, you whatever, because like they're there for that reason, you know. Instagram, in Facebook, yeah, Meta, which we'll look at tomorrow, yeah, they're yeah, you're right, they are the best. Like that's Facebook or Instagram, yeah, they're the best, you're right. But I guess I'm just saying Reddit should be the best or one of the best. Because of how specific. You always have to fight not to click on their ads. Yeah, it's sick. Yeah, I bet. I'm like, and I agree because like even like if I'm like Vicky's watching something on Instagram or whatever, it's hard to tell sometimes even when it's not an ad for one, and then it's like, yeah, it's definitely integrated pretty well, and especially like video ones, like, yeah, it's like it just looks like you know, someone using it, and then it's like, oh, okay, cool, and then you're like, fuck, this is an ad. See, okay, so this is Reddit. This is Reddit's like trying to be unique product. Yeah, they're trying to stand out with this. Conversational ads is our flagship Reddit unique ad product, which includes ad placement below the Reddit post and within the comments. Double-digit improvements to click-through rate. That's crazy. We also recently launched multi-placement optimization, which uses ML to help advertisers reach their audience across the platform. And also I do appreciate the distinction that Reddit's using between machine learning and AI, because like, yeah, most websites have used machine learning for recommendation engines, in like advertisement placement. Like that's industry standard. but it doesn't equal AI, or it's not AI. So I do appreciate them kind of saying like machine learning more so. Uh, both feed and conversation AIs, action intent. Adidas case study, interesting. Huh. Yeah, the increase in advertising with increased impressions delivered. Just so this could also mean that they just started running more ads in more spots too for more impressions, because they've said this before in here where it's like the pricing is consistent. They kept the pricing the same, but we still grew in revenue because we increased the impressions delivered. I guess that makes sense for more people because there's just more impressions too with more people. Yeah. Anyways, scratch that. Increased hosting usage to support user growth on our platform, and an increase in other expense advertising services, particularly offset by hosting cost efficiencies and lower hosting prices. This is like nothing though, like really, for how big Reddit is. Per head count, how many employees does Reddit have actually? They increase revenue per head count, which is like, I guess, what you want as a company. But this is crazy, just like the jumps in like income, like what? Like this is so bad, and then like 3 months ended. Hmm. Bro, this is all the appendix. I was like, dude, we're not even halfway. Oh, here we go. This isn't all the boring stuff. I thought they're gonna have like employee headcount. I'm curious. Sure, if we wanted to, we could like reverse engineer or like solve for how many employees they have based off of this, but I don't feel like that. No value there. Okay, cool. Reddit's Reddit's on the up and up. It's good. I want to see if they have a 10Q though. Wrong one. We want this. Reddit. RDDT. Document word. I want 10Q. Here we go. Wait. Full one. $10Q. Here we go. Okay, let's go down to risk factors. Jeez, this is so hard to read. Come on. I like can I download this as a PDF? We'll zoom in. Second. All right, good enough. Risk factors. Subject to numerous uncertainties, including those described more fully below in this quarter report. Okay. Fail to increase or retain our user base, in particular daily active uniques, or if our user engagement declines, our business results in operation. Yeah, okay, obviously. Redditors do not continue to contribute content or their contributions are not valuable or appealing to other Redditors. We may experience a decline in the number of Redditors accessing our products or services and user engagement, which could result in the loss of advertisers. Yeah, I mean, strong brand and reputation from the main. Okay, that one's boring. Yeah, changes in internet search engine algorithms and dynamics could have a negative impact on traffic for our website and ultimately our business results of operations. Finally, yeah, this is, I feel like, one of their biggest ones because this is out of their control. Like, arguably, they could, you know, they could like do other things to get users. They could incentivize people to contribute content. They can control their brand reputation, but this is out of their control. We have a history of net losses and we may not be able to maintain profitability. Okay. A result of operations may fluctuate from quarter to quarter, make it difficult to predict. Yeah. Early stages of monetizing our business, and there is no assurance that we'll be able to scale our business for future growth. Generate majority of revenue from advertising, the failure to attract new advertisers, loss of advertisers, or reduction of our failure of advertisers to maintain and increase their advertising budgets would have adversely, yeah. I mean, this is like essentially what Elon Musk is having, problem he's having with X is like no one wants to advertise on the platform, so it's like can't run, like there's no ads to run if no one wants to pay for advertising. Not succeed in further expanding and monetizing our platform, exploring business opportunities and licensing data, but we're in the early stages and the market is new. Results of operations, financial conditions may be harmed by failure to timely effectively scale and adapt our existing technology and infrastructure. Data privacy, safety, security, and the content review will identify instances of misuse of user data or other undesirable activities by third parties on our platform. Yeah, that's a big one too. Oh shit, oh my god, they actually list a lot. This is what I'm saying, like Google like didn't even list anything, bro. Or security measures are breached, or if our product and services are subject to attack involving systems or data, some of which contain personal information. Yeah, cybersecurity attack, that's legit. Growth and engagement depends on effectiveness, effective in operation with operating systems, networks, devices, web browsers. Yeah, that's essential. Like if Apple, you know, kicks them off the App Store, their website breaks with new Chrome updates, lose people. Involving laws, rules, regulations, industry standards, and legal obligations regarding content, consumer protection, competition, privacy, and other matters. Yeah, I mean, all social medias are kind of subject to this. This is their Wall Street bet warning. Interest in our Class A common stock from retail and other individual investors for reasons unrelated to our underlying business or macro or industry fundamentals could result in increased volatility in the market price of our Class A common stock. They're essentially warning, like, Wall Street Bets gets a hold of this, you know, who knows what's going to happen. The multi-class structure of our common stock has the effect of concentrating voting control with those stockholders who held our capital stock prior to the listing of our Class A common stock on the New York Stock Exchange, including our directors, executive officers, and 5% stockholders and their respective affiliates. This ownership will limit or preclude your ability to influence corporate matters, including the election of directors, amendments of our organizational documents, and any major corporate transactions requiring stockholder approval. Okay, that's interesting. It feels like they're kind of like maybe like someone could like take over a large portion and like the ownership will limit or preclude your ability. They're like talking to like the shareholder or something. Don't know enough about different stock types and voting to understand that. Our amended and restated certificate of incorporation and the governance agreement we entered into with our principal stockholder grant our principal stockholder certain rights with respect to control of management. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Dang, they really go into detail. Bettors do not continue to contribute content. All right, let's just pick one of these and go into it. I want to look at the search engine one, actually. Oh, that's the shortest one. Changes in internet search engine algorithm dynamics could have negative impact of traffic on our website and our business. Our success depends partly on our ability to attract online visitors to our website. We rely in part on internet search engines such as Google to generate traffic to our website, primarily through free and organic searches. Search engines frequently update and change the logic that determines the placement and display of the results of a user's search, such as the purchased or algorithmic placement of links to our website may be ranked lower in the search results or otherwise less visible in users' search. In addition, a search engine could, for competitive or other purposes, alter its search algorithms or results, causing our website to place lower in organic search query results if a major search engine changes its algorithm in a manner that negatively affects the search engine rankings of our website or those of our partners or business results of operations. Yeah, I mean that was just a simple expansion on this sentence. That wasn't much. Look at our advertisers do not have long-term advertising commitments with us. In addition, many of our advertisers purchase our advertising services through one of several large advertising agency holding companies. Oh, that's interesting. Our revenue could be harmed by the loss of deterioration in our relationship with any of our largest advertisers or with any advertising agencies or in the holding companies that control them. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I saw AI. Let's read this. Our ability to retain, increase, and engage Redditors so this is if we do not develop successful new products and services or improve existing products and services, our business will suffer. Our ability to retain, increase, and engage Redditors and increase our revenue depends heavily on our ability to continue to evolve our existing products and services to create successful new products and services. We have invested and expect to continue to invest in improvements to our platform, significant changes to our existing product services, and new and unproven products and services, including machine learning and artificial intelligence and other initiatives to generate revenue and increase our user base and user engagement. For example, with Reddit's contributor program, we allow users to earn money from their Reddit contributions to the platforms and other Redditors. What the fuck? I didn't know that. That's cool. Improvements in our platform, new product services, new ad formats, new products they develop in certain areas, require regulatory approval to launch. Like what? It's crazy. Obtain required regulatory approval. What are they? That's weird that they're specific to this regulatory approval. Like, what are they planning on launching that would require regulatory approval? Fail to increase engagement. Yeah, we depend in part on operating systems, including mobile operating systems such as Android and iOS and their respective application stores to direct downloads to our apps. If such operating systems or application stores limit the availability of our apps, Yeah, could fuck them. We compete to attract and retain Redditors' attention on the basis of our content and Reddit experiences with our platform and face significant competition for prospective users, both domestically and internationally. We compete against many companies that provide content and communication services to online users, including Google, Meta, including Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and WhatsApp, YouTube, Wikipedia, Snap, X, Pinterest, TikTok, Roblox, Discord, and Twitch. These, which offer a variety of internet and mobile device-based products, services, and content. Many of these companies have greater financial resources and substantially larger user bases than Reddit. As we pursue opportunities to empower our user economy, we expect to face competition from existing online marketplaces, including Facebook Marketplace. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Nextdoor, Craigslist, Poshmark, Etsy, and Roblox. As a result, our competitors may draw users towards their products or services and away from ours. Does Reddit, can you buy things straight from Reddit, like products and like merch and shit? But it's interesting, this Nextdoor and Craigslist, this is essentially what I was saying with like the r slash cities, like r slash LA, Los Angeles, r slash San Francisco. Like this is who they're competing with. That's interesting. This could decrease the growth of engagement of Redditors, which in turn would negatively affect our business. In addition, like rewards, advertising shit. Ah, yeah, I see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I was thinking like if like you could like sell some like a fucking keyboard on Reddit and you could just like buy it through Reddit or something like Facebook Marketplace or Etsy. In addition, we face competition from large language models such as ChatGPT, Gemini, and Anthropic. Redditors may choose to find information using LLMs, which in some cases may have been trained using Reddit data instead of visiting Reddit directly. Yeah, that's a real threat. All right, let's look at EA now. Geez, this goes on forever. Maybe I need to go straight to the SEC to get the 10Q, not from the company's websites. All right, let's look at EA and we'll call it there. Bro, I don't understand, like some companies use like different like time things, like 2025 Q2, like I don't get that. Financial model? What does that mean? Bro, financial model? I'm opening this up real quick. I wonder what could this be? Financial and operational data? Dude, that's sick. They gave it an Excel doc. Like, that's cool. And they even say like, is this like like E plus F? Dude, this is awesome. All right, that's cool. MTX. Here we go. Risk factors. Oh, microtransactions. Yeah, on Reddit. I see. All right. Wait. Look. Electronic Arts. Just a prediction. Like the sad reality is, like EA probably makes most of their money from Madden, FIFA, and all the fucking sports franchises that they just copy and paste every year, and that's gonna be like what we're gonna see. Like total hours played in American football up over 140% year over year. That's like the biggest. Yeah, college football. These are just select highlights, but it's interesting that they select these. Although I don't even know what EA like has released in the last like year. Live services represented 74% of the total net bookings. Dang. By platform, console, bro. It's console is that's crazy. It's not even close. PC. Okay, here we go. Core business. Oh, they have Apex Legends. Yeah. So FC, like FIFA, Sims. I forgot they have Sims, Apex Legends, Madden, College Football, Battlefield. Ooh, unannounced partner title. New releases. Oh, here we go. They actually answered it for us. Tales of Kenzera. Oh wait, let's look at EA's stock price first. Sorry. 2%. All right. 5-day. This is reasonable. EA Sports, EA Sports, EA Sports, EA Sports. Oh yeah, Dragon Age. Right. They have Dragon Age. Which comes out tomorrow. Tales of Kenzura. What is that? Never heard of this game. Bro, hardly sold any. That's good reviews though, so that's good. Oh, it's like a platformer. Metroidvania. Alright. You remember this? Okay, I've never even seen that before. But I don't follow EA stuff much. I wonder what's coming out in Q4. It says unannounced partner title, but like it seems like it's coming out in Q4, but they haven't even announced it. Like that. Oh, bro, bro. EA's fucking Q3 October. I don't understand. Like this is 2025. Am I like? No, that's right. Like Q4, I don't know what their Q4 is, but then this Q4 looks like it's aligned with like actual like Q3. I don't fucking know. I don't get that. Like fiscal year, yeah. I don't know enough to understand how all these quarters shit works or how different companies measure that stuff. But I should if I'm going to be covering this stuff. $2 billion. I want to see here. It's crazy that EA is like, yeah, the console is not even close to PC. Like, it's crazy. PC actually shrunk 16%, I guess, just, you know, money-wise. Crazy. It's interesting. Look how much live services versus, like, I assume that this is, like, means microtransactions. Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. I mean, but console grew, like, crazy, like 30%. I think this is like essentially microtransactions, and this is like people like in like their EA Play or EA subscription thing, and then full game is just people buying the game and not. I'm assuming. Yeah, it grew. Live services didn't. It's interesting. Okay, this is who's the CEO? Andrew Wilson. Earning slides. Yeah, those were kind of worthless. Our third quarter fiscal year 2025 earnings call is scheduled. Bro, I feel like I'm in like fever dream. Third quarter 2025. My dude, we're not even close to that. It's scheduled for, okay. We'll look at their 10Q here in a sec. Our production strengths and broad portfolio IP to build. Okay, wait. Show kind of the non like DOE answers. We believe, lastly, for the long term, we believe generative AI has the potential to greatly expand, transform, and create new entertainment experiences. We believe this means all new business opportunities rooted in social connections and self-expression. We aspire to accelerate, enable. You wonder if we're paid experience DLC factors in live services. Ooh, that's a good point. Actually, I'm not sure on that one. This like fucking AI shit with like companies that like don't necessarily like have anything to do with AI right now, but like feel the need to like mention it and like say that like your business could see benefit from it. It reminds me of the metaverse shit when like every CEO was talking about like the metaverse and like getting into it and like whatever, and then like it was literally fucking nothing. Like, you know, it's like it was just all like them just wanting to get in on the hype and like trying to like, you know, keep up with like all the shit, and like meanwhile they're like, what the hell like could we even do with this? I'm kind of getting similar vibes from AI, Gen AI, not like, I mean just AI in general from like companies, but I mean like AI is a bit more practical, but even then like it's still like, you know, I don't know, it's a little early to like for like companies to kind of be saying things like this when like they probably won't see or do anything with it like for a while. Through September, College Football 25 was not only the best-selling HD title. What is HD title? Pretty typical. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's just weird, I guess. Like it bothers me a little. Like just relax. It's like Madden NFL. This is all like sports. EA Sports FC. What were they? I don't care about like EA Sports. Like I know that's essentially Prince money for EA, but like The Sims. Oh, so it seems like they might just go down all their IPs, which is good because we might get to the Battlefield news. It's been nearly 25 years since the world has introduced a beloved to the beloved franchise. 500 million have joined the community. The Sims will move beyond linear sequential releases with the goal to offer more options for players to engage with the brand than ever before. We started with rebuilding, re-engineering, and reimagining The Sims 4. Building The Sims... Dude, when did The Sims 4 came out years ago, though? As the foundation of the franchise enables our players to continue to engage with content. Like, he acts like they just released Sims 4. Created and built over the past decade and engaging new evolving experiences. They're trying to treat that as their forever platform. Like, bro, why? Using it for like the next 10 years? That's crazy, bro. When did The Sims like that? Like, it's, I feel like it's already getting dated. Like, this latest accepted revision review. Wait, oh, wait. Yeah, 2014, 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. A new multiplayer-focused The Sims title is under working, titled Project Rain is in development. Where did I see that? October? Oh. Gameplay options related to Sims Death Afterlife. Oh no. Dang. All right. This allows us to focus on creating a variety of games and experiences, deep simulation games, cozy games, a social and collaborative based platform, mobile alternative names. Yeah, there's no Sims competition. Yeah, I know. I remember I linked one in our Discord about like some indie person making it, but like realistically, like it just won't like be the same scale as Sims. I feel like. Yeah, I mean it's just do whatever they want. It's crazy. Oh, your Life and Death is dropping October 31st, tomorrow. Early indicator show it's ahead of episode 16. Starting November, a new UGX, that user generated experience. User generated experience. The Sims 4 creator kits designed to build our community creators will start rolling out. I see. Interesting. Sims actually does seem like a good platform for like community content or like modded content like that, because it's kind of a sandbox in that way, and like it seems like it'd be a good fit for kind of like expanded like modding like that. My Sims Cozy Bundle launches on Nintendo Switch. The Sims Lab, an incubator for testing new innovations and features. Players are trying a new plethora of ideas. These launches and tests this quarter are a core part of how we are investing in massive Sims platform across more game experiences, more creative options, and more ways for players to create and connect. That's much more to come for the franchise. There's much more to come for the franchise, including a film in the works in partnership with Amazon MGM Studios. Crazy that Amazon owns MGM Studios, but a Sims movie. The Sims represents an incredible opportunity as it's become even bigger cultural icon and massive community. What would the Sims movie even be about, bro? I wonder if it's live action too. If it's live action, like, bro. This is them seeing that Barbie is fucking like, you know, $1 billion movie, and they're like, bro, we could do a Barbie movie? Like, bro, like what? Like, you know? And they're like, okay, let's see what we can do. Live action and Black Mirror, yeah. Animated and a bunch of humming and yeah, like they're like Sim speak. Yeah, how are they gonna do that? Bro, how are they gonna do that, bro? We got 2 days until we launch Dragon Age The Veilguard. It's been 10 years since we launched its predecessor, the Game of the Year winner, Dragon Age Inquisition. Early critic scores are strong and reflect high quality depth and detail. This year's action-packed adventure. Great example of how our blockbuster storytelling engages and connects with fans truly unique ways. Excited about what we're moving towards over the next 6, 12, and 18 months. You should expect more key developments and news around our massive online communities, including Battlefield. Let's go. And Skate. Oh, right. They're making a new Skate game. I saw some recently about that, and I forgot that EA owns that. Oh, that's interesting. Our Q2 results represent momentum in our business. Can you... Yeah, so interesting. So maybe in the next earnings or something, we'll talk about Battlefield. I thought they would talk about it now, but... Bro, 2 billion just this quarter. It's crazy. Apex Legends net booking fell short of our expectations for the quarter as we extended freemium access across the entirety of the first half of Season 22 Battle Pass. Following the second half release of the Battle Pass in September, we observe a return to spending conversion levels consistent with previous. Delivering new experiences for our players. Okay. The Reaper's Reward gameplay event offering players a weekly challenge resulted in 6% year-over-year increase in weekly active users. Yeah, they're definitely treating this like a live service. Interesting. Operating expenses came in below. don't care about guidance. Meaningful additions to our live services. All right. I wonder what their do they have a they do have transcript. I wonder what questions that people would ask EA here. I'm just gonna skim the questions real quick. All right, questions, answers. How you capture momentum? Yeah, it's about football. EA Sports, yeah, whatever. In terms of, as you're thinking about guidance for this year between live services for sports. Non-sport business. Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize how much EA leans into like the sports. Like that's like the biggest driver of like their revenue. It's also so funny that like hear like Wall Street people like talk like video games, you know, like, okay, for season 22, like what's the battle pass gonna be like, you know? For Apex. One of these questions, systematic rethink of Apex, how much of this can maybe be done fixing a part of the car that's in motion, or something that might require like a whole studs up rebuilding. Something like an Apex 2.0 might be the way to go about it rather than an incremental change. Really good question. Probably beyond the scope of this conversation. What I would say is that typically what we have seen, again, in the context of live service driven games at scale, is the version 2 thing has almost never been as successful as the version 1 thing. Interesting. And so actually the objective right now is to ensure that we are continuing to support the global player base, and we have and deliver new innovative creative content on a season by season basis, as well as building things, but build them right in a way that players do not have to give up on the progress that they've made or the investment that they put into the existing ecosystem. That's interesting, and I think that plays into kind of like some of the like City Skylines, Kerbal Space Program, where like the second game, which is not necessarily live service, but like, yeah, just not as successful because it's the same thing. It's like essentially the same thing. And like if they're doing Apex 2.0, I'm sure people would be like, why not just like add this into the original game? Like, I don't know. Objective would be continuing to innovate the core experience, and you're seeing from season to season. Now, as our seasons get progressively bigger and we are changing kind of key modalities at play within those seasons, and then build additional opportunities for engagement in different modalities of play beyond what currently core mechanic delivers. So like my guess is that like they're moving beyond just like battle royale and moving and like adding more game modes within there. Like I assume that's like what a modality is. And we think we can do those two things together, and we don't believe we have to separate the experience in order to do so. But again, the team is working through this now. That's interesting. Quick one on Veilguard, but as far as you can tell, what drives that kind of breakout success we've seen in some single player fantasy games in the last couple of years, and how do you feel that Veilguard might compare along these lines? Has breakout potential again. 10 years ago, Dragon Age's Inquisition. That was the last Dragon Age? That's crazy. That's crazy. One game of the... He's really leaning into this game of the year and was a very strong performer for us in the conduct of our business. This is entertainment. So while much of our business has moved to live service, moment to moment deliver and has moved to live service moment to moment deliver innovation and creativity for a deeply engaged community over the course of time. This opportunity to bring in incredibly high quality creative storytelling set in an amazing world with rich characters living out those stories. You're able to capture that moment, and entertainment success almost certainly follows. And we see that in the context of movies, and we're seeing in the context of TV seasons, and we see in the context of video games. When we think about what we have with Veilguard right now, we have a strong studio in BioWare. We have a storied IP in Dragon Age, and we have a team that took extra time to make sure that the world was rich. And these characters are interesting, and the story was compelling, and I think that we're going into a market that has limited competition for this category of game, given some of the moves that have happened across the broader industry. So while I think it's too early to predict the outcome of critical reviews, the critical reviews have been incredibly strong. The team feels really energized by what they have delivered, and my sense is that yes, it has breakout capabilities. This guy's like reeling it back in, like, okay, don't get too excited, you know, like we're still maintaining our original assumptions for the game at this point. Like we don't want to, you know, hype things up too much. Can you help us get through the drivers here? I recognize there is a partner title, but any incremental color would be helpful, and then maybe just one on the football franchise. I appreciate. I wonder what the partner franchise game coming out in Q4 is. Whatever happened to EA and Star Wars too? Like I feel like EA was like leaning into all the Star Wars stuff. I guess they came out with that Jedi game earlier this year. 2 duds? Oh shit. Disney probably done with them? Dang. I wonder how the Ubisoft one did then. Or is that even out yet? I want them to give a idea into that Q4 release. Mid reviews? Dang. For decent things. I guess I just like kind of came out and then like that was it. Like I just like it was just like a blip. Ooh, this is interesting. You mentioned Dragon Age Inquisition earlier, and I think it's fair to say that since then, BioWare has had a somewhat challenging decade with a lot of turnover in management, and some titles that don't work as well as they would have liked. What have you done? What has Laura done over the past several years to put BioWare into a position to ship strong titles like Veilguard? And what does this say about the future of BioWare from here? I thought BioWare got shut down after Anthem or something. Ah, they survived that somehow. Well, BioWare Sacramento, let's go. I didn't know they had a BioWare and Sac. Waystone Games. BioWare Mythic. So, okay, there's actually a lot of BioWare studios. I didn't realize that there's this many. So, oh, these are all former. Oh, rip. So this is probably what I'm thinking of. They just closed down like their like smaller studios. EA does have a studio in Sac here and they make the Galaxy of Hero games. Or not, or Galaxy of... Yeah, sorry, they make this this mobile game. They make this. They're actually in Sac here. It's like the only one I've ever found. I played that for a while too. I was really into it actually when I was in like the Air Force. Like my entire like flight was playing it. Okay. A great deal of things that have happened. First, I would say that as we look back over BioWare has been across a number of different studios and built a number of different types of games. Anthem, yeah, Anthem. It's probably the one that people remember the most for not really living up to expectations of what BioWare games should be. And while that is almost certainly true, what I'd remind people is it was almost BioWare trying to do something very, very different and what typically be known as a BioWare game. Like, he's trying to defend BioWare, and I think though also he's probably trying to legitimize like them not closing it, you know? Like, he's like, you know, they tried to, but like, you know, that was risky. That was just like a BioWare kind of game, you know? Like, it's really about building different mechanics and different models at play into a BioWare world. And while the reviews at the time actually heralded the world as being incredibly rich and wonderful and high fidelity, and traversing that world being great, and something like a character is being super interesting, the piece of the puzzle didn't quite come together in the way that I think BioWare had hoped. A big shift happened after that, which was we're really returning to BioWare type of games. We're really returning to BioWare's strength. What's happened subsequently since Anthem is that BioWare team has really rallied around what made BioWare a fan favorite studio and a fan favorite brand, in the type of games that they make: incredibly rich worlds, incredibly nuanced characters, and really powerful and compelling stories with camaraderie and friendship and relationships, decisions that matter in the context of the gameplay. He had this like answer ready. And I think it's really been a return to what made BioWare great, and giving the studio the time to really deliver against what makes BioWare great in the context of Dragon Age world. And what amounts to a game like Dragon Age Veilguard. Dang. Interesting. Let me just look at their 10Q real quick, and then probably call it there for the stream today. Maybe start 8K? I don't have a 10Q filed. Do they have it over here? Oh, I guess they just haven't done it yet. Dang. I don't know what an 8K is. Actually, or maybe this is the same thing, but like a depending on. Like, this is just like revenue. Huh. All right, well, that does it for EA. Interesting outlook for EA. Interesting outlook. Tomorrow's honestly going to be another earnings day. Today, technically they come out, but after hours. But tomorrow we're going to look at Microsoft, Meta, probably look at DoorDash, Coinbase, and then maybe Carvana, because I think Carvana's and they're doing sketchy stuff. eBay, might look at them, but definitely Robinhood. Yeah, definitely Robinhood, Microsoft, Meta, DoorDash, or Meta and Coinbase. So we'll look at earnings tomorrow a bit more. They probably not do as much news stuff. I also said that I would have my Boeing space report done, but it keeps ballooning in scope. So I'll present that next week. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for showing up. Really appreciate it. Be back tomorrow around 8 a.m. PST. Also, I'm going to try and upload a YouTube video today. Chop up my stream, make it into an actual coherent YouTube video. So subscribe on YouTube. All right, see you guys. Thank you. Thank you.